Okay, hello. Thank you for being here. This is the Book Troop live show for the month of October, where we read The Stranger Upstairs by Lisa M. Matlin. Ooh, how exciting. Thank you to everybody who's already joining us on this live. I am joined today by some lovely BookTube friends who I've never had on the Book Troop before. This is like so exciting. So we have Meg and we have Sydney. I have both of their channels linked down below. If for some reason you are unfamiliar with either of their channels, I wanted you to maybe get a chance to just introduce yourself for anybody who doesn't know your channels for some reason. Maybe just talk about like what genres you typically read or what kind of videos you usually do over on your channel, if you don't mind.
Should I go first? I always hate like figuring out who goes first on live shows.
Yeah.
Okay,
You're on top.
I'm on top, so I feel like it means I should go first. So I'm Megan from Meg with X, and in terms of genres that I read, I love mysteries, murder mysteries, thrillers, fantasy. I read all genres pretty much, but my most read genres are mysteries and fantasies. And I just love doing reading vlogs. I do the other videos as well, like the staples, but really I'm just here for the reading vlogs. They're what I love. So yeah, I do like themed reading vlogs, I'd say is the main feature of my channel.
Yes.
And I am Sydney. I am Sid a Bookworm. It looks like bookworm, but maiden name backwards. Trying to be fancy. And I dabble again, like also kind of in a little bit of everything. But I predominantly like my favorite fantasy is genre is fantasy. My favorite fantasy is genre. And I also like psychological horror. I like thrillers. The whole good lit fic moment every now and then. I also love reading vlogs. I do the staples, love a good challenge and a tag. Starting, my favorite, I know it's like the least popular, but like I love doing like my home renovation vlogs where we're like been fixing up our house, and like if you hear noises, Caleb is upstairs putting together the bookshelves that he's making for me. So that's what is coming. But like if you hear things, I'll try to mute myself if it gets obnoxious.
Oh my gosh, I love that. Yeah, Sid, your recent video of him like getting all this stuff for you for your 20K. Oh my god, it made me cry. I was like, so
I was
sweet.
like, you couldn't have told me before, so I didn't look like that when I got home from work.
That was so sweet.
No, he's a literal angel. He's perfect.
Yeah, that was very, very kind. And yeah, Meg, you do those videos where you do the like predictions for the Goodreads Choice Awards.
Oh, it's my favorite.
It's stressing me out. I'm having nightmares about it. I'm having literal nightmares. I'm like, this isn't fair. I
feel like you were very on point. Like I would be surprised if you were off. Like it looked accurate.
I don't think I'll be too off. But then I've watched other people's predictions, and we've had a few differing, and I'm like, oh god, it's like stressing me out.
Right. Well, sweet. So thank you so much to all the friends joining us in the chat. I see all of you joining. Thank you. Hi, Katie. Thanks everybody for joining us already. How exciting. So we've read The Stranger Upstairs. The beginning of this will be spoiler free. So if you just kind of want to hang out and you don't really know too much about what this book is even about, then you can just hang out for a little bit. I would love to know though, if you have read the book and you read along with us this month, maybe you can put a blue heart in the chat. And then maybe if you haven't read it yet, maybe you could do what other one is there? Like a house? Is there a house emoji? Maybe you could do a house if you haven't read it yet. And then while they're doing that, Sid, if you wouldn't mind, would you just want to do like a spoiler-free, just like vague synopsis, just for anybody who hasn't read it and like doesn't really know what it's about?
I'm gonna do my best.
Yes.
So basically, this one right here, is about this woman named Sarah Slade. And I shouldn't remember, no spoilers.
Yeah.
So Sarah Slade, she basically, her and her husband buy this murder house. It's a house that someone was murdered in, aka murder house. And her plan is to like renovate it and bolster her online presence, and alongside fixing up her marriage because it's kind of on the rocks. And they start fixing it up. Obviously, the marriage is horrible. It's not going well. But she starts fixing up the house, and the house keeps like undoing things. Like the house doesn't want to be renovated. People are notorious in this really small town knit community about like not wanting anyone to live in this house because it's hurting their property value, things like that. And it's kind of like a mix between like I don't know, like a retrospective story while also like small town vibes, haunted house. Is it a haunted house? It's a whole thing.
Yeah. Nice. That was perfect. Yeah, thank
That was
you.
great.
Awesome. Yeah, I love Katie's This Reading on a Woman's Soul. Amazing. Yeah. Okay, well, so now that we know what it's all about, I would think we should just jump right into ratings just to get a feel across the board how everybody feels about it, because I don't know how either of you feel. So should be exciting. So if you wouldn't mind in the chat, if you have read the book, now would be the time. You can put what you gave this out of 5 stars, and we'll just go around and kind of, say our rating and then kind of briefly maybe why, like just a little kind of like why you felt that way. So Meg, do you want to start?
No, I actually don't want. I don't want.
Oh god, I'm
I
scared.
don't. Okay. I gave it 1 star.
Oh my god.
Oh
And, like,
no.
And like I don't want to talk about it. No, I can talk about it, but I gave it 1 star.
Oh, this is gonna be great. This is gonna be great.
No, but here's the thing. It's not like I've already like kind of burned it from my brain. Like my brain doesn't want to hold on to the trauma, so I actually don't know how I'm going to talk about this. Like I can't even remember. I just hated every second of it. I'm so sorry.
Oh my god. Wow.
Okay, we'll leave that there for now. Yeah, I gave it 1 star. Let's see, I'm not alone. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. I mean, that was unexpected, but like, sure. Yeah, I'm here for it.
I gave it a 3.5. I think I like a 3.5 to a 4. I think I said I did a reading vlog and I was like, I think it's like a solid 4 right now, but I don't know how I'll feel after this live show is how I said in the vlog. So I was like, it's very much like almost like it could go either way. Like if I think about it in like a generous, like what I want it to be, then it's like 4-ish.
Yeah.
But if I think about it too hard, then it's like it gets lower.
Yeah. I agree. I think I'm still debating whether I'm giving it 2.5 to 3 stars.
Yeah.
I'm like somewhere in that area, just because I think for me the first half of the book was a lot more interesting to me than the second half of the book, and there was just some things about the ending that I was like, all right, like I don't know about that. But I don't know. I feel like I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I think I went into this book with some like false expectations just because of the way that this book is marketed. I don't know. I thought it'd be interesting to have a talk about that. I don't know if it would have to be spoilery or not, but just like, do you think that this book should be categorized as horror in like any sense of the word? Because like I do see on Goodreads, yeah, the first genre it's being listed under is horror, and then it's like
absolutely not.
Yeah, and I'm like, I think that's like setting false expectations for people, no? Because it's like this is not a horror book, like this is very like standard kind of like mystery thriller small town.
Yeah, 100%. That's alarming. I didn't know if I thought that my rating would probably be 2 stars.
Yeah, right?
Like, yeah. 100%.
Yeah, so I feel like the fact that this book is being marketed as like a haunted house horror book, I don't know about that. Because I just feel like the haunted house, even the haunted house elements, like they were kind of there in the beginning for me, but then they just kind of like I don't know, it wasn't really about the haunted house,
Yeah, I was hoping that it was going to be like actually like paranormal and very spooky, like weird things going on, and like they were there every now and then, but it wasn't at the level that I was hoping for. But I feel like I'm really picky with my haunted houses, so I like I try not to hold it against it because I was like, I just know what I want.
If you're promising me like a haunted house book, I want you to go there. I hate books that like chicken out of it. Like I just in my brain, I don't even view this as a haunted house book because like nothing happened. Like it barely anything happened for it to be that. It was more about like her state of mind really throughout it. So I don't even view it as that. So I think the marketing around it may be, damaging it.
That's what I mean. It's unfortunate when those things like contribute to like your expectation of like going into a book, and then it like kind of sets false expectations. Because then I'm like, yeah, this is not a horror book. Like I would not even like, even if it does have a little bit of haunted house vibes, I don't think I would consider this much horror at all. It's really not. So that's interesting. I was wondering too, like before we do jump into spoilers, I was just wondering how did you feel about like the writing style in general or like the pacing or the atmosphere of the book? Like was it something that kind of like lured you in and you enjoyed, or was it like driving you nuts? Or just Sarah Slade as a character in general? Like how did you feel about her?
I did not like it. No. like in particular, there was I tabbed a little bit because I was trying my best, and there was a part in the very beginning. It was like maybe it's murder, maybe it's Maybelline. And
Oh,
don't,
don't,
Yeah.
don't, absolutely
and then like
not.
later, like just like putting in things like tee and like
Oh yeah.
I was like, shut up.
Yeah, I hated the writing. I'm so sorry.
Yeah. No, yes. Like she was a very unlikable main character too, in most parts.
Yeah.
But
I mean, here's the thing. I like sorry.
No, it's okay. I was just
Sorry,
which isn't always bad, but
no, that's what I was gonna say. I like an unlikable narrator, like if you do it well. But for me, she was just annoying. There was no redeeming qualities. Like if you're gonna be unlikable, like at least be charismatic. Whereas the charisma, there wasn't any, unfortunately. And I don't know if either of you listen to the audiobook for this?
I did,
because I only listened to the audiobook. Oh my, I don't know if I just didn't like the narrator and that contributed to it for me, but like every time, because this isn't a spoiler, because this is like right from the beginning, because it's talking about the murders that happened like in the past. Every time that line where it was like don't kill me came up,
like, and I like repetitive lines because it like draws you in, and it's like really like we're like almost like not culty, but you know what I'm trying to say. And like it was not working. It was so shrill.
I know. I think it was the way she did it on the audiobook that just made it really annoying. It was like, ugh.
I think if I was reading it physically, that wouldn't annoy me. But oh my god, every time it came up in the audiobook, I was ready to punch a wall.
Yeah.
So annoyed.
I know. I feel like with the lines of like maybe it's murder, maybe it's Maybelline, I feel like the author was trying a little too hard to make her like quirky and like funny and like relatable, but it just most of it fell really flat for me. I don't know. I know everybody says like Sarah Slade is like really annoying, but like she didn't bother me too much at the beginning of the book personally. Like I was just kind of like, okay, I mean, she's a little annoying, but like it didn't like ruin my enjoyment of the book at all. But I don't know, for me, I feel like she almost like kind of lost her personality a little bit throughout the book. Because like I feel like she was really like over the top and obnoxious and had all these like lines like that at the beginning, and then like slowly as we get later into the book, she just kind of like became such a like one-dimensional like, I don't know. I feel like she started to lose her personality as the book went on. And
I think that she changed a lot, like in a different, like, I don't know, in a way that wasn't like growth or development. It was just like it was a different person almost.
Yeah, that's what I mean. The writing felt a little inconsistent because I saw people talking about how, this one's a debut thriller. So it's like, can you tell that it's a debut? And I feel like the biggest like, sign to me that this is a debut is because the writing just does feel a bit inconsistent throughout the story.
I agree.
Pick me girl energy. But yeah, did you feel good about the atmosphere of the story though? Like outside of just the main character, like did you like the atmosphere of like this town and this house and like that, or was that not as great as you thought it would be either?
Sid, you take this one because I have nothing. I have nothing to say.
I was gonna say, I mean, like the small town energy, small town vibes, like with the people, not really giving her any information. Like I like small town like sort of situations because of that. I don't know, but like I just think it's funny how I said it was 3.5 to 4, and then like I haven't said one positive thing.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't want to be bringing the tone down. No, like please say what you like.
But like, and I will let me say that like I for the last half hour while I was like trying to have a snack, I was like almost rereading this because like I read it like 2 weeks ago, I think.
Me too.
And that's not a long time. And I already forgot a lot of like the plot twists and like things that happen. So I think that it's not super memorable for me, but like the atmosphere, I think in like it could have been built up a lot more. Like there were like maybe like 2 or 3 scenes of like the haunted house or like spooky things happening within the house where I was like, oh, like cool, I liked that. But then like otherwise it just kind of felt like a normal almost slice of life.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna say the same because like I read this like 2 or 3 weeks ago now, and I'm like, my memory on this book is already so fuzzy. Like it's even though I maybe had a fun-ish time while reading it, it's so forgettable that it's like crazy. Like it's crazy how fast I've forgotten things. But yeah, I don't know if there's anything else I wanted to talk about before we jump into spoilers, just because I feel like there is so much to discuss about what ends up happening later on in this book. So I think we're going to go ahead and jump into spoilers now from this point on. So if you haven't read it, you've been warned. Thank you so much for joining us for this portion, but we're going to be jumping into the spoilery things now because I have a lot that I want to talk about with this. There's a lot that happens in this book. So I guess my first thing would be the plot twist at the end of part 1 that happens where we get the reveal that what Sarah is actually Lizzie, her sister.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
How did you feel about that? Were you like surprised at all? Were you like, oh, that's bullshit? Like, how did you feel?
I wasn't surprised. I mean, like, I think I was like, okay, like I was like, oh yeah, like, yeah. You know, like it wasn't like oh I didn't see that coming. Like I've read there's like another like different thrillers where like this same trope has been used, which is fine. Like it's an exciting thing, but like I don't know. I wasn't necessarily super surprised.
I was like shocked. I was like, wait, what?
I didn't necessarily see it coming, but I was like kind of like I was like, okay, like go you, like okay, great. And that was basically it. You know, I was like, okay, like not go you as the character, go you to the author. Like, okay, you did that. Like woo, you know, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think also it is a problem that I'm noticing in my personal reading though, that like I have read so many mysteries and thrillers that like you got to do something to shock me. Like we've read every trope in this book we've read in my opinion 100 times and better. Yeah. But so I was just like, okay, great. You know, they didn't get I think I was like cleaning my kitchen at the time. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah. I know it's so weird because I literally just posted a video like 2 days ago that was talking about thrillers and how I'm like, I find it so annoying. Like it's one of my least favorite tropes when one of the big reveals in a thriller is that characters are the same person or like you find the real identity of the character and it's supposed to be. But like for some reason in this one, I was like, what? Like I was so shocked by it. I was like, wait. So I'm like, there's always an exception for me to that rule because usually I don't like that twist of like, oh, they're the same person or like the two characters you were reading about this whole time are actually the same person. Like sometimes it works for me and sometimes it doesn't. But with this one, I don't know why I was shocked because like I think I was like into because like there was that tea that they spilled like right before that where she said she like stole her husband from her sister and I was like, oh like I was like, what? Like so I was kind of like into
that one was good. Yeah. I liked that one.
Yeah, because then I was like, oh shit, like what's going on? Like there's some tea with her sister, and then it was like revealed that she is the sister, and then I was like, wait. Just like it took me out, but yeah, and then one of the things that I was so confused about with this book that I don't know if it ever got cleared up, but like why was the town like or the people in the town so rude to her? And like I know it's like she was buying a house and whatever, but the way they had this whole like mystery around Amanda, like I don't know, I thought that was weird.
I can kind of sorry, you guys.
No, please go. I've been talking to you.
I was just gonna say I can kind of get them being rude to her because like they don't want anyone to buy the house, but being like secretive about a woman going missing and being like, we don't know anything. Like what?
That's what I mean. I'm like, did the town like know that Amanda died in the house and they were just trying to like cover it up or like I don't know why they were being so like weird about it, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I genuinely like all that I've gathered that it could be is that they're mad that it is bringing down their property value. Like the neighborhood, like a couple ways over, is like the same exact size of house, everything like that, and they're selling for like double. And so like their property value over on this street is like cut in half because of the murder house, and so they want to bulldoze it, but for whatever reason they aren't able to. Whatever, but I don't even know if that's like the most valid reason because it, like you could be mad, but like that's a little bit dramatic the way that they're acting if that's the only reison.
Yeah, like the way they were acting to her was just a little bit dramatic and I'm like, for what? Like what is this? Oh, is that what actually is happening? Did I miss that?
Oh, I don't But she was out of the house every time they were rude to her.
Yeah, right. That's why I'm like,
And I know that carbon monoxide has lasting effects for sure. And I think that like mixing it with alcohol probably didn't help either. But I don't know. I think that they were
joking.
being. Oh, okay. I was like,
Oh,
wait.
we've missed something.
I know, and yeah, how did you feel about, because at the end it's like there's this whole dramatic thing where her friend Emily, who I guess is like her bestie or something, because yeah,
Yeah.
at the beginning I was just like, it seemed like Emily was just like a coworker that she like didn't even really like. I don't know, like I was getting weird vibes from Emily because I even went back in my notes and I was like, wait, who the fuck is Emily? Like I feel like she was only mentioned like
Yeah.
one time at the beginning, and then like she's at the end being like her best friend, like trying to like save her or
well,
something.
she was like almost became her therapist too, though. Like she
Yeah,
started telling
Mm.
her everything
yeah,
basically, and like I thought it was going to be Emily. I thought Emily was going to be like a plot twist of like she's telling the whole town all of her secrets and that's why the town hates her. Like Emily is the reason that everything's bad for her, but she was
yeah.
actually just a really nice person.
Yeah. It just felt so
Yeah.
random to me because I feel like Emily, this friendship with Emily, like kind of came out of nowhere. And I was like, what's going on?
Yeah. I feel
Yeah.
like Emily was almost like 3 different characters throughout the book. Like I feel like kind
Mm-hmm.
of who she was. Like it kept changing, and I kept forgetting who Emily was. I was like, who the fuck is Emily?
Yeah, I
Because
know.
I feel like who she is at the beginning, and then who she is when she's like in her I'm her therapist era, like
Mhm.
giving her, and then at the end, I feel like she's like almost a different character. So I don't know.
Yeah.
It was just a bit of a weird character for me. If I'm honest, I only liked the cat in this whole book. That was the only character I liked. Just the
It was the
cat.
only relatable character.
Yeah, and at least the cat lived. That's all I care about.
True.
Yeah. I know. Well, the reason why I thought the first half of the book was more interesting for me than the second half is because I feel like in the first half of the book, it set up like so many different mysteries for me, which I was really liking because I wrote in my notes at one point, I said there was 5 different mysteries happening that we were trying to solve. It was like what really happened at the house, and then like what's in the attic. There was all that weird shit about like something in the attic.
Yeah.
And then there was what happened to her little sister. That was like a mystery in the beginning. Where is Amanda, like the previous owner? Like what happened with her? And then also what bodies are they finding in the flash forwards? Because I liked the way that it was setting it up with those like flash forwards. And it was
I
like,
agree.
2 bodies were
Yeah.
found, and you're like, who is it?
Yeah.
That was kind of fun. So like I liked all the setups of those different mysteries that were happening at the beginning, and that's why it feels like a really like typical like mystery thriller to me, because I'm like, this isn't about the haunted house, it's about these mysteries of like bodies disappearing and things like that. So I really liked the first half with all those mysteries, but then I feel like after the reveal at the end of part 1 that like she is Lizzie, her sister, and then I feel like part 2 we just went on this like goose chase of like trying to figure out what happened to Amanda, but it was like we get introduced to all these different characters and like I just got so bored with it. I don't know.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it really wasn't super consistent after that, and I don't think that I really realized that until now, honestly. like I was just kind of like, I don't know. It did kind of focus on the Amanda thing, which like I get, like if you're living there, you want to know like what happened, but like the renovating of the house like completely went away. Like completely. Like that was her point of buying the house. So like I don't know.
Yeah. I know, and it became a lot about like her husband like cheating on her, like was he or was he not? And I was just like, dude, I don't care.
Yeah. I'm done with like rubbish marriages and thrillers. I'm done with it. I don't care about cheating spouses. I don't care. And the fact that she's like surprised, like to my account, there was never any love in this. I'm like, what the hell? He hated you. Well, she's like, I cannot believe he cheated on me. I'm like, I'm surprised it's taken him this long. He never liked you. Like, what is going on?
Exactly. I know, and whose footsteps were in the attic, because they were always her own, right? Because she had some kind of like carbon monoxide thing going on, right? And so it was always her.
She was probably just hallucinating the sounds if it was the carbon monoxide. Carbon monoxide. Yeah, I mean, she was probably just hallucinating like left and right.
Yeah.
The part in the end when Lizzie or Amanda, whichever one she isn't, was actually in the attic with her, I was like, is this really happening?
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Like,
I know. I was tripping at the end. I was like, what is going on? And when she kept saying like, they come at night, I was like, who? Like,
I still don't know who they are.
I know, like, who's coming at night?
I don't know.
And it was just like, it was supposed to be that neighbor man or something. She got so suspicious of like, what's his name, Jeff or something, or Joe, or
Yes. It
and
was
she's just
Jeff.
like, they come at night, and I'm like, for what? What are they doing? Like, what do you mean? That was confusing. But yeah, but then I don't know, the ending just really fell apart for me with the way, because it's like we get Emily, who like all of a sudden really gives a fuck about Sarah or whatever.
Very true. It's very sudden.
Yeah, it's very sudden that she gives a fuck, and then she like realizes or something when she's like left that she's like, there's carbon monoxide poisoning like in the house. OMG. And I'm like, oh, okay, it felt so convenient to me that she would realize that, like.
And why doesn't she call an ambulance like on her way around there or something, or like alert someone? Like, it's not like when she's going over there, she thinks, like, I can't see a reason for her not to do that logically.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the part that frustrates me the most about the ending, because then Emily just goes back to the house to like try to stop this or whatever, and then she goes up to the attic and she's like, Sarah's like losing it in the attic, and it is that what happened, that she thought that Emily was her sister, or did she just like
she thought her sister was there, like,
so that was before.
Yeah.
But for some reason then she like just kills Emily because she thinks
she thought that Emily was an intruder trying to take away her sister again.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Right. So yeah, I was just like, that ending for me, I was like, wait a second, what? So she like just kills Emily because of that, I guess. She's on the carbon monoxide, like something's going on. And then yeah, I don't know, finding out after that she what I did like about the ending was how she like took Emily's name at the end. Like, Emily, I was like, what? So
can I say something?
Yes.
If anyone has seen the newest season of You, I won't spoil anything, but like the ending of this book was giving me the beginning of that season's vibes. Just like showing up in a new, like completely new place, and it's just like assuming a new identity. Like I was just like, I don't know. That's exactly what it was giving, though. It was giving You to me.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
I can see that.
I have a few issues though that I want to raise. Okay.
Yes.
Two things. Number one, I feel like the whole influencer element in this was totally half-assed, and like,
I agree.
like her talking about how she gets sponsorships. That's not how it works. No one in their Instagram post is like, maybe we should work together, like tagging them public. Oh, I hate when hate when authors try and do that to seem like, oh my god, I'm so modern.
I know.
Yeah. And also, why, if you are someone who is like addicted and you know this about yourself, like loves taking on other people's personalities and has done what you've done in the past, why are you becoming an influencer with hundreds of other followers? Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that?
Stupid.
That's a good
point.
She's
like, I can just dye my hair. Like, what? Like,
right.
I don't understand. What are the chances? She can't just disappear because she has like 100,000 followers supposedly.
Yeah.
Who someone is? She's an easily recognizable person.
And if she has that many followers, why is no one in her hometown outing her?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Don't they know that she's not her sister?
Yeah. Well, remember she was getting comments.
She
was getting those comments that were like Lizzie, or she was getting those mysterious packages, right?
Yeah,
like
that was her. That was her.
Oh, that was her.
Yeah, she was leaving them for herself. Yeah, she was sending them to herself.
Well, yeah, but like, okay, no, tell me if I'm stupid, because honestly, if she is Lizzie.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Pretending to be Sarah.
Yeah, so people from her past, if they come across her
they
Instagram,
know that she's not Sarah.
Yeah.
So why is no one outing her?
Exactly.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Like, why would you do that? If you're impersonating your dead sister, why would you set up an Instagram in her name and become like, it just makes no sense.
And her point for assuming her sister's persona was that she wanted to like become a therapist and help people. Her sister wanted nothing to do with an influencer's life. So like, why don't you just add that on? That doesn't make sense.
She could have just had the therapist element. She didn't need to be an influencer because it added nothing apart from her being like tagging a sofa company or something. Like, please, can we do a sponsorship? What? Oh my god, it annoyed me so much.
No, I agree. I honestly like. I think I forgot about the fact that she was an influencer like more than halfway through the book because it wasn't mentioned that much.
It's
It was
just like a
right.
buzzword to
Yeah.
market the book.
Exactly.
It actually like it's just thrown in. Like it really does not need to be there.
Yeah,
it really is. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, that bothered me too. Like the fact that she was able to fake her degree to become a therapist. Like how? Yeah, some of that felt a little bit unrealistic to me.
Listen,
I agree.
I'm willing to suspend stuff that makes no sense if it's fun, but if it's dumb, I'm not going to excuse it.
Yeah,
I'm not going to excuse it. Basically.
I agree. Yeah, I got a comment on my like last BookTube live show where I like really hated the book, and somebody commented and they were like, "Well, why are you reading a thriller expecting it to be like rational and like realistic?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, I can read a thriller and think it should be rational. Like, why wouldn't it be rational?
Yeah.
You know? Like,
see, I like it when a thriller sometimes is irrational if it's fun and if it's done but this wasn't.
Like if it's
all
weird
depends on the
and
execution.
dreamy and like a little bit out of pocket, like that's phenomenal.
Yeah. It's all about the writing and like the circumstance, but I'm just like I'm like, why wouldn't like I don't just read thrillers thinking they're all gonna be like irrational and ridiculous and like, you know, like what do you mean? So I just thought that was funny. But yeah, I think the ending too with finding out like because you know we found out at the end that like Joe like her husband or Jeff or whatever his name was, I don't know, but her husband was actually like not one of the bodies that we found. So like he lived, I guess. I don't know what happened with him. There was like no closure.
Arrested.
Yeah, he's arrested for the murders.
Yeah, he went down for it.
That's right. He went down.
She's
for
like
Emily's
tee
tee. I'm Emily now.
He went down for Emily's murder.
Yeah.
That's insane.
And like, here's the thing: in another book, I could care about that if I cared. If I like had, he was like the epitome of white bread. Like I could not care less about what happens to that man. Like who cares? If I cared about that character, I'd be like, oh, what an injustice! But who was he? He said like 2 words the whole book.
Yeah. Yes. No, I agree. He was the most like one-dimensional husband character ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was interesting how they found like Amanda's bones in the house or something.
Yeah.
Or like in the attic. I don't know. But
yeah, I don't remember.
Like in the garden? I don't know. Somewhere.
Yeah. So it was Amanda and it was Emily that were like the 2 bodies that they found there, I guess.
Yeah.
But also like I just wanted some clarity. I don't know if you guys like got this or not, but so her sister, like she killed her own sister, right? And did she really kill him? Or did she really kill her sister over like a man?
Yes.
Like she just wanted to steal her man, so she killed her sister?
This is the plot twist that I had to reread because I still don't know.
I know, I'm like, it's never really explained like why though. Why did she kill her sister?
I may have checked out. Weren't they just arguing? And then she was like,
It was like yes. Like they were arguing. Like, well, first it was like she thought she was like, but I think it was probably the monoxide talking that she was like, Joe or husband definitely killed her or whatever. But then the very next like freaking paragraph was like, actually, this is what happened. And I think that Lizzie or whatever actually swung first. And like word for word, it's like, I think she actually started it. Yeah. And then she started strangling her. And that was it.
Yeah. Because she like messaged, or there was like that scene where she messaged his new girlfriend and she was like, just warning you, I think he like killed my sister or whatever. And so it was like implied that he killed the sister. And then like a few pages later, she was like, I killed my sister.
Like, wait, what? I didn't know. I don't remember her doing that.
Did she do that or did she think about doing that? Was she like,
I don't know.
I don't think she had her number. I could be wrong. I honestly don't know.
Maybe I don't know. It was Instagram.
I think she was like, I should find her number and tell her. I bet she'd like to hear that he's. But she might have done. I don't know.
I know. I don't know actually if she did it or not. I wrote in my notes like she's unhinged. She texts the new girlfriend that he left her sister, and then 10 days later she thinks he killed her, and I was like, oh fuck.
Yeah.
And then like right after that, it's like she killed her own sister.
Yeah.
Are you talking about when she was talking to Andy, Joe's best friend?
Oh,
that's like she's like, hi Andy, it's me, Joe's bitch wife.
Did she actually send that?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, yes.
Did you know Joe isn't his real name?
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. Teehee.
Yeah, okay.
Teehee.
You know, with this whole I know with this whole
I was
unreliable
distracted by the teehees.
straight to jail. Yeah, the unreliable narrator bit made this book so confusing to me now, looking back on it, because I'm like, what was real? What was it? I don't know. I don't know anything.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. Okay, got it. Yeah, I don't know. But
like I will like something that I did notice or want to mention that I know I said in my vlog, but like the plot twist with like it actually being like a carbon monoxide. Oh my
Yeah.
god, carbon monoxide thing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before. And I know that like I've read real life stories like out in the world of that happening to people and crazy things like this happening. So like
Yeah.
I kind of liked that was like an actual like plausible, like I normally don't like when my thrillers have like a bow at the end. Like I like it I like it when it's weird and you don't really know what's going on.
Yeah.
But like I actually did kind of like the carbon monoxide because I was like, okay, so all of it could be fake. Like it's still very open-ended, but
Mhm.
like it gives you a reason for it to be open-ended. So I did actually like that. I wanted to say one positive thing.
Yeah.
And I
But
don't
I have a question. Don't like you usually die quite quickly with carbon monoxide poisoning? No, okay. That was my impression. That it was
no, I
like
think because there's carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide.
Mm.
okay.
Like carbon dioxide is what you breathe off, and carbon
Yes.
monoxide is the toxic chemical that can like I mean it depending on how high of a concentration you're
Yeah.
exposed to, it would really matter. But like if it was just like a slow leak, like people live a couple weeks in their house not knowing.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah, and they're just like literally doing renovations and then tearing them down themselves and then waking up and being like, the house is haunted. The house
Yeah.
undid itself.
Yeah. I know. I was gonna say I appreciate that it was that and not like a mental illness or something else. Yeah, like I appreciated that there was actually an explanation for it instead of just like, oh, she's mentally ill and crazy. You know, like
Right.
Yeah.
I would have preferred that. But yeah, what Katie said though, because like didn't the epilogue say that it wasn't actually CO2, it was like the
Yeah.
house. Like
But see, okay, this is the thing. This is where I'm like if I choose to believe this. So
yeah.
it could have been okay, so
Yeah.
tee-hee. Like so they say that they didn't find any evidence of carbon monoxide, but then that's where you can kind of tie in like maybe the house is actually freaking haunted
Yeah.
and it got rid of it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, I like that. I mean, the epilogue. I didn't really love the epilogue. Like after I finished it, I was like, this is fucking
Hated
stupid.
it.
Like, this is
I didn't
pointless. Like, you know, because the epilogue is just like the next family moving into the house and just kind of like wrapping it up. But
Yeah.
honestly, when you think about it like that, yeah, like if the carbon monoxide was like the house like haunting her or doing
Exactly.
that just for her, and then like
Mhm.
there's no evidence, then I think that's creepy, and I like how that haunted house element. ties
Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah.
agree. I still
That's
didn't
that's
watch
what I
it,
was
but agree.
choosing to believe.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
the very end, I was like, oh, okay.
I know. I think that's what the author was implying, though, right? It's like the
I hope
house
so.
was like haunting her in some kind of way.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think that's what the intent was there, but I do like how it's a little bit ambiguous. Like you can make your
Yes.
own, you can make
Yeah.
your own assumptions there. But yeah, I was gonna bring up that too. The author's note at the end was also really powerful. I don't know if you saw. I don't know if it was included on the audiobook. Was it?
It was, yeah.
Yeah, she was just talking
I
about.
listened to it and then I felt really guilty about giving it 1 star. I felt bad, but then I was like, then I just logged on to Goodreads and still gave it 1 star. So, but it did make me, you know, feel a bit bad about giving it 1 star.
I mean, you can't help how you feel, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, but the author's note was pretty powerful at the end. She was just kind of talking about how she dealt with like some really, you know, dark mental illness in 2021 and how this book was really like her, you know, passion project, I guess, for a long time that really got her through it. So I thought that was really awesome that she included that at the end of this one. But yeah, I mean, just out of curiosity, because this one is a debut, so like do you think you'll see yourself reading more books from this author in the future, or does it depend on like what the book is about, or like how do you feel about that? Meg's like, no. I'm done.
I mean,
it depends. It depends on what it is.
Yeah, I agree. Because like I'd be curious to see what she does next. Like if she does something like, kind of that sounds like this, I don't know if I'd read it again. But if she does something like totally different, like it's not her writing that I dislike. I think it was mostly the characters and like there were some elements of this book that just didn't work for me. But I think I'd be interested in checking out what she does in the future.
Yeah,
Mm.
I don't know. I mean, it was kind of the writing that I didn't love, but like I also think that it was the character she was trying to write is why she wrote that way.
Yeah.
You know, I think she was trying to write this character stupidly, and I hated it. But like, you know, it depends.
I agree. I think it depends too. Also, Julie, I'm so sorry to hear that. That is so tough. Okay, I guess the last question that I had for this live show before we wrap things up is, are there any like books or movies or TV shows that you would like recommend for anybody who read this book and maybe didn't enjoy this and is looking for something kind of
Yes.
with similar vibes?
I screenshotted it. I was ready for this
Yes.
question because as soon as I was like, what does this remind me of? And it is Only Daughter by Anna Snoekstra.
Ooh, okay.
I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it either.
It's only has like 8,700 ratings on Goodreads. I read it. It was, Erin from Booked and Busy. She like I did a rating her favorite books vlog, and that was like her favorite thriller at the time that she gave me the recs. And
cool.
I think that it was like this, but way better. So if you like the gist of this one, I would definitely say you should try that one.
Nice.
I disliked it so much I can't think of anything to compare it to. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, no worries. I know.
I can't make the connection.
I know. I kind of struggled to like think because I was like, well, what would I compare like another book that has a good haunted house or like another book? Because like I think one that I really liked that Meg, I don't think you like that one, but The Nesting has.
I didn't dislike it. I think I gave like a 3.
Oh, okay, yeah. The Nesting by who's it? CJ Cook?
CJ Cook, yeah.
Yeah, The Nesting by CJ Cook. That one has a haunted house element that I really liked with it. It takes place in Norway, and it's like a nanny taking care of these little girls. It's like a gothic thriller vibe. I thought the haunted house elements were a lot stronger in that book for me. I would agree. Just like Home by Sarah Gailey, I think is a...
Let me be clear. The one it has nothing to do with a house. Mine one is a house. It was mostly just like the people. Okay, don't expect a house. There's nothing about a house. It doesn't matter. Just to be clear.
Yeah, just to be clear.
Nice. My favorite haunted house book that I've read recently is A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher, but it's very different tonally.
Oh my god. Okay, good to know.
It's very different.
I keep delaying my hold on the audiobook.
I loved the audiobook. Listen to it with the audiobook.
Nice.
Okay. I really like the narrator for it.
The audiobook's pretty short, right?
Yeah, it's quite a short book. So yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, it's Diddy.
Okay, well, sweet. Well, hopefully, if you didn't enjoy this book, then maybe you've got some other recommendations from here for other stuff you can check out. But yeah, I think that just about wraps up this live show. So thank you so much to everybody who read along with us this month. I really appreciate you as always. And thank you so much to Meg and to Sid for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I adore both of you and your channels like so much. So, I mean, really, thank you for being here. It means a lot.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, for real. Me just being like,
yes, I appreciate it. And if you are joining us next month for the book troop, we're going to be reading Midnight is the Darkest Hour by Ashley Winstead, which I'm so excited but so nervous for. So hopefully it goes a little bit better than this month. We'll see. But yeah, thank you all for joining us. We're going to head out. Have a good rest of your Sunday. Bye.